And this connects to another topic I'll just touch on very briefly as far as how to return to training. So if you're coming back from a break and you want to increase your volume of training. Let's go. A Marathon Monday, finally. Even though it's Wednesday, you're watching this on Thursday. Yes, I've got my hydration in full swing. Still recovering a little bit from the food poisoning, but we're going to make it. I think we're at about a 9 out of 10 today if we were at 7 out of 10 yesterday. So, feeling good. In fact, feeling so good. There's the run on your screen. Much better than the last couple of days, all right? And I think, who was out there in the wind today in Colorado? Pretty wild. I think I heard 70, 80 mile per hour gusts was the predicted forecast. So there is the Puma Eternity, okay? A gentle stability shoe from Puma. Will they be I'm not going to say the running shoe company of the year, but the newest, on the scene running, it's like they are really putting their best foot forward. At least I think they are. So there's the Puma Eternity. I think we're almost to 50 miles. Full review coming soon for that. Yes, the running, the East Harlem, there it is, East Harlem United Runners. I haven't forgotten about your packages for myself and True Love. We're going to go upstairs in a minute and give those to True Love, open them up with her. Let's dive in. Marathon Monday, how to determine your race pace. All right? 2 strategies to go about this, but I know there's going to be more. In fact, down below in the comments, scroll down. That's where the goodness is always at. Scroll down and read the comments. Here we go. Question of the day. How did you originally, and so this is probably going to be a vlog geared more toward the beginner runners or intermediate runners, or maybe someone who's been running 5Ks and 10Ks their entire life, but has never made that jump up to the half marathon or marathon distance, okay? But for all the veterans out there, if you can rewind, go all the way back to maybe your first half marathon or marathon, maybe it was in the 1970s or 1980s, all right, so here we go. Question of the day. How did you originally calculate your half marathon and marathon goal race pace? I gotta tell you, mine was a little willy-nilly for the Amsterdam Marathon, okay, in 2019. I went out too fast. I had general ideas, but I didn't really know what I was doing as far as I said I wanted to hit the OTQ, which was 2:19. So there it is on your screen as far as per mile and per kilometer, okay? So that was my goal race pace. But what happened, for those that don't know the story, there was a group that I should have stayed with, but it felt a little slow. They were running about 3:21 per kilometer, 3:22 per kilometer, and I think I needed to be around 3:18 per kilometer. So I went ahead and chased up and caught up to at about mile 2, running through, Vondelpark, right, in Amsterdam. Shout out to everybody in Amsterdam. And I caught up to Michael Butter, okay? Shout out to Michael Butter, who is an Olympian, right? For the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I ended up going out too fast. I felt really good up until half marathon, but then faded really hard at about mile 15. So I had about 11 miles of just utter pain cave. Anyway, story for another day. So that's the question of the day, and here we go. The best way that I have learned from other coaches and listening to my coaching college is that, and this connects to another topic I'll just touch on very briefly as far as how to return to training. So if you're coming back from a break and you want to increase your volume of training, all right, same for racing. I always recommend going and racing a half marathon, okay, all out. That's your peak race, to get that baseline for what you can race a half marathon at. And maybe you haven't raced a half marathon in 5 years or a decade. Maybe that's a goal for you for 2022, with the long-term goal of racing a marathon in 2023 or 2024 to establish that baseline time, okay? So you want to figure out that baseline half marathon PR, which for me, I didn't even have that before the Amsterdam Marathon in 2019. My first half marathon in a decade was in Naples, Florida. And what was it, 11 months ago, basically? Okay, shout out to Naples. Love the, is it the Naples? Oh, I forget the name of the running club down there, but you guys are amazing. Anyway, there it is. Gulf Coast Runners, they're amazing. Great race, check them out. Fast course where I ran 105.43. So that's my baseline. And it's a great baseline, okay? And there it is on your screen, the pace for the miles and the kilometers. So 5 minutes a mile or 3:06 per kilometer. So therefore, here's the rule of thumb. From your baseline half marathon, what you want to do for a very fit person, if you're in really good shape, top performance pace, what you can do from that baseline half marathon PR is you can add 8 seconds per kilometer if you're working in kilometers, okay, 42 kilometer race, or 12 seconds per mile, okay, so 26 mile race. So that will give you your marathon, and this is for, okay, there's one other factor though. This will give you your marathon goal race pace, all right? So this is beautiful for me with respect to trying to qualify for the Olympic trials, which is now 2:18 instead of 2:19. So here are all the numbers on your screen, okay? I'll let you absorb them for a second. Because if I can run 3:06 per kilometer, if I add 8 seconds per kilometer, that puts me at 3:14 per kilometer. And what do I need to run to qualify for, well, what is my goal race pace for Rotterdam? As I announced, what was it, a week ago or 10 days ago? Okay, again, this is all on your screen. So it's really pretty beautiful if I can pull it off. And I'm sad that I didn't get to see the full benefit in New York City, but it's water under the bridge, and that's why we sign up, hit register, and see what can happen in April in Rotterdam. All right? So there you go. So that's option number one. Option number two, if you're just not ready for the half marathon distance, that's fine. The second option, here you go. Go to a track, somewhere that's nice and flat, or a really well-marked, that's the key, a really well-marked 5K course on a flat paved road. And you do one 5K, take a 10-minute rest, and then do the same course again, another 5K, okay? You take the 2 times from each 5K, put them together, divide by 2 to get your average, okay? And then you take that average and you add 15 to 20 seconds per mile. That's another way to determine your marathon goal race pace. Okay, that's another strategy you can do. If you just are not quite ready to make that jump up to the half marathon distance, and maybe there's no half marathon, and what I mean by, so this would be a time trial, okay? So when you're in good fitness, you're at good fitness, okay? You don't want to be just coming off the couch. You're good fitness, go out, do a 5K time trial, rest 10 minutes, and then do another 5K time trial, average the times, and then figure out and then divide by 3. Once you get those 2 5Ks put together, get that average mile pace, and then add 15 to 20 seconds. Sound good? Okay, those are your 2 options there that I, am familiar with. Now, return to training. Here we go. For me, for beginners, I often say start at 10, for beginners, start at 10 to 15 miles per week. Again, this is all take with a grain of salt because I don't know your background, depending on your injury history and frankly your experience level, okay? And yeah, so those are the 2 main factors. So start at 10 to 15 miles per week and add 5 to 10 miles per week for 3 weeks, and then drop down back to your original mileage. So you would go the first, this is gonna get me in trouble. Actually, I might just put it on a title. It might just be easier for you to read and for the sake of time, okay? So you see you're building up. I've shared this before, but you build up and then you come back. So you build up and then you come back to that original baseline, slowly making your making your way up to your highest peak volume, which I would recommend if you're getting ready for a marathon. If you're a beginner, it's probably going to be closer to 50 miles. If you really want to chase down big goals, I do recommend getting up to that 70-mile-a-week mark. If you can work it into your schedule, I have found, based on my experience, that as soon as I start hitting 70 miles a week, that's when the fitness really starts to come around for me. For the more advanced runners, I'll just say 10 miles a week. And for me, I've been running for 22 years, if not more at this point. I'm adding in this current Rotterdam marathon training block. If you've been watching, I'm adding 15 miles a week. So I'm going from I started at 15, but the real training block started, so 45. This week is 60. Next week will be 75, 90, 105, all the way up to 130. Okay, I talked all about this last week. Whew, I know I just covered a lot. I tried to keep it a little expeditious just for the sake of time. Does that all make sense? I hope that helps. Go back and watch the titles. I think that'll help. Anyway, I know I can ramble a little bit down here in the basement. Okay, let's go upstairs. Show true love. Open these up. Also, I'm gonna show true love a little twist on the DGR logo, which I know you all have been patiently waiting for.